Hey, it is 12 noon on Wednesday, which means it's time for this week's episode of Ask the Instructor. I'm John Christmas. The show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate, and every Wednesday, 12 noon Eastern Time, we're here helping you understand the technical side of the real estate industry. And you might be new to real estate. Maybe that's why you're tuning in today. Maybe you're one of our longtime viewers who already has a real estate empire, but we're going to talk about today how to start that. Where do you even begin? And look, I'm not talking about the licensing process, although that is important. If you need more help in the licensing process, we're not going to talk about that today. You just need to go to licensefl.com. But before you go there, write down that link, licensefl.com. That's where you're going to find the complete step-by-step guide to get your Florida real estate license. That's licensefl.com. So write that down, because after the show, you'll want to check that out if you haven't initiated the process to get your real estate license yet. Or, maybe you're kind of stuck in one of the steps. Look, whatever the case may be, what we're talking about today is how to start building that empire. And yes, it does start with nothing. You can know nothing about real estate and still build a real estate empire. But it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen today. Nothing great is built overnight. You might even seem like you're an overnight success, but that's years in the making. And so that's what we're going to talk about today, how to be intentional about making this uphill trek to building your real estate empire, what you need to be doing before you even have the license, and then once you do have the license, what it is that you need to be doing, and how it is that you're going to grow yourself once you do have that license. So I'm super excited to bring today's show to you. My name is John Christmas. The show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate, and you're watching Ask the Instructor.
You are watching Ask the Instructor. Absorb the knowledge. Become the expert.
Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of Ask the Instructor. My name is John Christman. This show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. We are live here, broadcasting from the beautiful, sunny Tampa, Florida. This really isn't Tampa behind me right here. This is all just, visuals and graphics. These aren't real windows, just in case you ever wondered about that. But let's get right down to it. If you've got questions on any of this stuff, I'm just getting the chats loaded up right now. If you just want to say, hey, what's up, drop that in there. We'll give you a shout out live on the air. But what we're talking about today, what we're covering today is building your real estate empire. How do you get to that point where you're going to have a real estate empire? So, number one thing, and we're going to go straight to this. This is the number one thing. You implement this. This alone will take you to levels you never before thought imagined. And it's the secret of perseverance. Perseverance and persistence. This is one of my most favorite traits in a person. Persistence, which this just breaks down to every day. That's your secret. That's your secret to success in anything it is that you want to achieve, is every day. Every day. If you're not doing whatever it is that you want to do, every day, even if you only squeeze in a couple minutes of it, but if you don't have that consistency of every day, you're not going to be able to get to the levels that you could. You're not going to achieve your full potential if you don't do what you need to do every single day. Now, what is it that you need to do every single day? What? And this, we're going to keep hitting on this important component here of every day, but we've got to answer that question. What do you do every day? What are the things that you have to do? So if you're just trying to get your real estate license, it's to study every day, every single day. I know you might want to do that. We get people all the time that come to us and say, I took the course like a year ago, but, things came up and, I can't remember anything now. Even if, a month goes by, you're like, oh, yeah, it's been like a month and I forgot so much. You've got to put effort in every single day. And when you're getting licensed, it's really simple. You just need to study every single day. We've got tons of study tools. If you need extra tools to study with, help keep it fresh, make it easy. But you need to study every day. Now, what about when you're licensed? It's not that you need to study every day, but you need to train every day. Now, these two kind of go hand in hand. So once you get your real estate license, this is what you're going to replace your studying with, is training. Now, should you be training before you have your real estate license? That depends. Did you already accomplish this, number one, first? Because if you haven't done your studying for the day, you shouldn't be training for the day. I know a lot of people that will, go take the class, and before they go take their state exam, they're already talking with brokers and in on their training classes, which is good. At least you're doing the training. But that's always going to be secondary until you've got your real estate license. That's going to be secondary to actually studying and reviewing this material every day. So once you can cross that one off the list and now replace it and make your number one training, once you've got the license, then it's a matter of training every single day. Because if you're not continuing to push yourself uphill, and if you think your 63-hour pre-licensing course is all you need to become a millionaire in real estate, it's going to start you on that track. It gives you the possibility that could happen. It makes you legally compliant with being able to practice real estate. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. And you've got to keep pushing forward. You've got to keep going. You've got to keep training every single day. Now, what else do you need to do for getting business? Every single day, you need to prospect. Every day, because you know what happens when a day goes by? You're getting rusty. You're letting a day that goes by where you're not constantly trying to push yourself uphill. And look, if this only is, making, I get it, maybe Saturday or Sunday, you want to, that's going to be your days to take a break. Just make one phone call. Make one phone call. Push yourself to the point where you're like, okay, I'm going to make one phone call. It's Sunday. And I want to relax, but first, before I relax, let me make that one phone call. Let me respond to that one email. Let me do one thing so I'm spending time every single day prospecting. And, maybe this will start out this way where you're just making one phone call a day. But if you do that consistently, one phone call a day, you're going to find out that phone calls aren't so bad. That phone calls are ultimately what make you money. So you're going to say, maybe I can make 2. Maybe I can make 5. Maybe I can make 20. Maybe I can make 50 phone calls. And, I'm not even talking about, just simply doing cold calls. I'm talking about contacting your current clients, talking to your potential clients, the people that you've interacted with, fostering and building that relationship. Look, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but stick with us. I'm John Chrismo. You're watching Ask the Instructor.
The most powerful tool to study for your real estate exam is the Question Simulator from Tampa School of Real Estate. We've used our years of experience in preparing students for the Florida real estate exam to bring you the most powerful exam study tool available. In the Question Simulator, you'll be able to go directly to a particular unit so you can focus on the sections where you need the most practice. We have also included the percentages of each unit so you know which units are the most important for your real estate exam. Every question will immediately give you detailed feedback, which is almost always more important than the question or the answer themselves. After completing all the questions in a particular unit, you can go through question by question and review any that you've gotten wrong. You could also print out a report at the end of each quiz. The Question Simulator from Tampa School of Real Estate is 100% mobile compatible, so you can practice with test questions anywhere you have your phone with you. Enroll now at questionsimulator.com and get ready to pass your exam.
Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of Ask the Instructor. I'm John Kurtzman. This show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. Every Wednesday, 12 noon Eastern Time, we're here live. Help me understand the technical side of the real estate industry. What we're talking about today is building an empire. And if you take away one thing, that's all I want you to do today. If you could take away this one thing, the importance of every day, you can be great at anything it is that you do every day. It's not a matter of if you will become great, it's when you'll become great. And look, I'll be honest with you, some people are going to take longer than others. We all have our natural strengths and weaknesses. It doesn't mean that we can't overcome those weaknesses, it just means it's going to take a little bit longer to overcome those weaknesses. So you've got to set your sights on what it is that you want to achieve, and then make a conscious, intentional effort to push yourself up that hill every single day. Now, as we're talking about these things here that you've got to do to start building your real estate empire. Number one, if you don't have the license yet, you need to be studying to get the real estate license, because none of this matters if you're not legally able to do it. So that's the first obstacle it is that you have to overcome. But you're not done. You're not finished when you get your real estate license. You're legally capable, but that's it. You're able to practice real estate legally. But when has doing something legally ever made anybody rich? Doesn't. I'm not saying, not be legal. Of course you have to be legal, but it's not being legal alone that's going to make you money, that's going to generate income, that's going to be able to build your real estate empire. Now, once you've got your real estate license, you can transition from studying to training. And what you need to do is prioritize. What is the most important thing that you need to be doing? Because you can do other things as well, but you've got to set your core principles, your core activities, the activities that you need to do every single day that are ultimately going to make you successful. And then what you need to do is do them every day. You need a plan to do them every day, and then actually do them every single day. Not a day goes by that you don't do these things, because a day goes by and you don't do one of these things, you're getting worse, you're not getting better. There's no standing still. There's no standing still. Perfect example of that, people come take the pre-licensing course with us. If you don't go take your exam right away, or you're not constantly studying and training every day, you're not going to stand still. You're not going to stay stagnant with that information. You're either going to keep reinforcing it or you're going to forget it. You're either going uphill or you're going downhill. With your training, once you've got your real estate license, are you currently going uphill? Are you sliding downhill? There's no staying in place. You're doing one or the other. You're either pushing yourself forward or you're falling backwards. So you need to be intentional about doing this every single day, because you do this every single day and you watch as you start to see you get a little bit better and a little bit better. And you still might not get the results it is that you want yet, but you're going to get a little bit better and then a little bit better, and you make a little bit more progress. And then you start to see, eventually, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, you start to see some progress. You can be successful at anything it is that you want to do. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. But if you want to help take time out of the equation, number one, every day. It always starts with consistency, with the perseverance, with the persistence. We could call this consistency as well. That's where we start out with. We start out with every single day. You've got to become frequent before you're able to become great. So you need the consistency, you need the perseverance, you need the persistence, you need to be doing whatever it is that you've prioritized as your most important activity every single day. Now, when I talk about prioritizing what's actually important, how do you know what's important? Well, we'll make it real easy. If you're starting in real estate, if you don't have your license yet, that's studying. You need to be doing that every single day. Before you do anything else related to real estate whatsoever, you need to be studying every single day. Before you go do your application, you need to be studying every single day. Before you get fingerprinted, you need to be studying every single day, because that's what you need to make a habit out of. That's what you need to make a habit out of to be able to get the comprehension you need to be able to pass your exams. And then what happens next? Okay, now that you've got your real estate license, now you can transition. You're no longer studying laws, you're studying, because this really is still studying. But it's a shift in what you're studying. Because you're going to learn all about being legally compliant in your pre-licensing course, and then in your continued education you've got to do every 2 years. That's going to keep you up to date on, hey, make sure you're not forgetting about these laws and rules. So you're going to get that. The Florida Real Estate Commission is there to make sure that you stay legally compliant. But they're not there to be sure that you're successful. That's on you. That's where the ball now is in your court. And you need to continue, even though you're like, oh good, I'm done studying. I'm so sick of studying. Yeah, you're probably sick of studying the laws and rules you need to pass your real estate exam, but now the time is to study what's going to make you successful in real estate. What are you going to train on every single day? And that's why I like to call this training rather than just studying, because yes, you are studying this information, but training is more interactive. Training is more hands-on. Training is you actually doing rather than you just learning. Now, you can't do anything that you're learning about in the pre-licensing course because it's illegal, because you need a real estate license to be able to do those things. But now, once you've got the license, that's where you need to be training every single day. And if you've already got your real estate license and you haven't completed post-licensing yet, get enrolled in a post-licensing course, because this will break down planning out your business, establishing those correct priorities that are going to help contribute the most to your success. And then once you've got those priorities down, because when I talk about training, what are you going to train on? There's tons of things to train on. You could train on contracts. You could train on the MLS. You could train on let's see, what's some other stuff here that's maybe not too high with a return on investment. You could maybe train on using some CRM system or anything like that. So as you establish what it is that you're going to be doing every single day, you've got to establish priorities of what's going to get you that highest return on investment. We're going to take another quick commercial break. When we come back, we're not done yet talking about building your empire. Stick with us. I'm John Chrismo. You're watching Ask the Instructor. Have you completed your post-licensing education yet? Look, I know you're probably thinking, hey, it's not my renewal deadline. I don't need to do post-licensing yet. But look, here's why you want to do post-licensing as soon as you've got your real estate license, as soon as you're able to take post-licensing. It's not just another course about arbitrary laws that you're never going to use again. It's about real-world, usable topics that'll help you grow your real estate business, to help you take it to the next level. Look, let me ask you this one question. If this course helps you close just one deal, if you get one extra deal from post-licensing, is it worth the investment? I'd say it is. We get paid pretty well, so one deal means a lot of money. Check out postflorida.com. That's postflorida.com for the full details about post-licensing. And welcome back to this week's episode of Ask the Instructor. I'm John Chrisman. The show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. Look, what I'm here to do, whenever you see me, whenever you're watching me, is I'm here to make you better. You might not always like what it is that I tell you about how it is that you need to get better, but you'll appreciate me for it if you actually do it. That's what I'm here to do. I want you to be successful. That's what these videos are here for you to do, to help you become successful. Because if I could be part of that success, if Tampa School of Real Estate could be part of that success, that's all we ask. We just want to be part of your success. Because we know when we're part of your success, you won't forget about us. So that's all we want to do. We just want to help you become successful. And that's why we're here every day with videos. If you haven't subscribed to us yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button on YouTube, hit the like button on Facebook, go to tampaschool.com/success, drop in your email address in there, and we'll send you out notifications every time it is that we go live. Now, hopefully you've taken this away. If you've taken away one thing in these first 20 minutes we've talked about here, it's every day. One word I want you to think about is every day. What do you have to be doing every single day that's going to get you the success that you desire? Now, I know you'll want to get ahead of yourself at some point. I know it's exciting to think about what you could do with a real estate license, but if you don't have that real estate license yet, what your main focus needs to be is getting the real estate license. That's your priority. So it's all about establishing correct priorities. You've got to have prioritization of what it is that you're actually doing. And you need to prioritize this by ROI. Return on investment. Return on investment. Anything it is that you're doing, because look, it's you can keep yourself busy all day long, but not get any closer to achieving the goals it is that you've set forth. You can keep yourself busy all day, every day, and not get any closer to achieving the goals that you want because you're probably busy doing the wrong things. So you need to get intentional about being busy about the right things, about the things that are going to move you to that goal. So it's not just a matter of doing this every day, because look, what we're trying to do is take time out of the equation here. It starts with being frequent, being every day. Get that down before anything else. But then it's about doing the right things every day. Prioritizing what's going to get you the highest return on investment for your current, we'll call it a goal. You call it, because I'm all for having big, far-reaching goals, like they might call them stretch goals or long-term goals or whatever that may be, and that's absolutely what you want. But I would say you need, not goals, targets, your current target. So you have your long-term goals, the things ultimately that you're trying to achieve. The biggest things that you're trying to achieve, what that biggest impact is. But then you also have your targets that you need to hit right now to be able to make that larger dream a possibility. So this is not the goals, these are not the dreams, these are your current targets, which again, that depends on where you are. Depends on your stage, where you're at. Again, if you don't have your real estate license yet, your stage right now is getting licensed, and your current target is getting the license. So what's going to give you the biggest return on your investment right now? Because what's going to get you the biggest return on your investment after you have your license isn't studying, but before you've got your real estate license, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters until you've got the license. So the biggest return on your investment right now for your current stage is studying, is making sure that you're going to be able to pass that exam. But then what happens? Now that you've got your real estate license, you're in a different stage. You've transitioned. You're no longer getting licensed. You have a license. But chances are you have no idea what you need to do. And so you need to figure out what priorities are going to get you the highest return on your investment. Again, like I said, if you've got your real estate license and you haven't done post-licensing yet, you're doing yourself an extreme disservice, because this not only is a requirement, but it's something. And look, I preach on this because I was so stupid about this when I first got my real estate license. And I get it. I completely understand where you come from, where you put in all this work and effort and time studying to get your real estate license. But then you get your real estate license and say, oh, good, leave all that behind. I'm done with that. I'll get my post-licensing done later because I do not want to learn anything else right now. I already learned enough. Let me go figure out how legal descriptions are going to go make me money in real estate. Let me go figure out how, licensing law is going to go make me money in real estate. And it doesn't. And I figured this out the hard way, because when I finally got around to taking post-licensing course right before my deadline, I was like, oh crap, I wish I knew this 2 years ago. I went and paid thousands of dollars for sales training after I got my real estate license, with 90, maybe 80% of that information is information that I would have learned in post-licensing anyways. It's very introductory sales training, but I paid a fortune for it because I didn't want to do post-licensing. And I didn't realize. It was still my fault. I still take ownership of that, but it's because I didn't realize what you're going to learn in post-licensing, how much real world, just the business planning alone is going to help you establish those priorities to get you that higher return on your investment. Now, let's say you've already done post-licensing. Now what? Well, what are you doing every day to train on? So you should already have a business plan with your targets laid out. Because now once you've got your real estate license, it's a different game. Now you're going to have multiple targets and multiple moving targets. That target of passing the exam is a really easy target because it's a fixed target. You need to study this, this, and that, and you've got your real estate license once you're able to pass that exam. And that's it. That's all you've got to do is pass an exam. If practicing real estate was as easy as passing an exam, you might say, well, John, this exam's really hard. Yeah, it is. But all you got to do is study the material, and you're going to be able to pass the exam. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And now, once you've got the license, you're going to be pulled in every which direction possible. Now, again, hopefully you've done your post-licensing course so you could lay out a business plan, so you could lay out what those current targets are, how many buyers it is that you want to work with. And this is just kind of starting to lay this out here. It gets way more in depth than post-licensing. How many buyers? How many sellers? Maybe you're working with investors. Maybe you're doing property management. Maybe you're working with renters. Whatever it is, you lay out your goals, your targets. that you want to hit, of how many buyers you want to work with. Let's say that you want to close 12 buyers this year and you want to close 12 sellers this year. You know, maybe your goals are higher than that. Maybe they're lower than this. This is where most agents stop. Sometimes they don't even get this far. Sometimes they don't even go to lay out a target of how many people they want to work with in a given year. And if you do this, you're off to a great start, but this is, again, just the tip of the iceberg. You've got to now drill down into what it is that you need to be doing every day. These are not targets. These are goals. You've got your dream, which is at the highest level. This is ultimately that, vision that you're trying to achieve. Then you have your goals. Then you have your targets. You've got the dream, which helps you establish the goals, which help you establish the targets. And the targets are the specific things that you're able to take action on right now. Because these are not targets, these are goals. So you set out your goal that you want to close 12 buyers this year. Well, what are the targets that are going to get me to close 12 buyers? How many people do I need to talk to? How many contracts do I need to prepare? How many appointments do I have to go on? These are your targets because these are the things that you're able to control. You can absolutely control how many people it is that you communicate with. You're in control of that. You're not going to be in control of how many of your goals unless you're in control of your targets. You will not be able to control closing 12 buyers or 20 buyers or 100 buyers or however many people it is that you're wanting to close until you've got established targets and you're controlling those targets. That you're able to hit those targets. Because if you hit those targets, you hit your goals, you hit the goal level. What targets do I need to hit to get these goals, to get this dream, to achieve this dream? The empire, that's the dream. But this is just, just some ethereal thing. This isn't even something that, you don't wake up every that dream. We're going to take another quick commercial break. Stick with us. I'm John Chrismo. You're watching Ask the Instructor. Ask the Instructor. Are you studying for your Florida real estate exam? If you are, you need to check out our Pass First Try strategy. You're going to love this. It's 4 steps that we break down the process to study for your Florida real estate exam. So you're set up to pass your Florida real estate exam because that's what you're studying for, right? To pass your exam. It's 4 steps. Number 1, you learn the information. You've got to learn this to be able to pass the exam, but it doesn't stop at learning. Step 2, you've got to reinforce the basic, simple, key concepts. As you learn this information, keep reviewing the simple things. You don't need to know everything, but you got to review these basic key concepts. Step 3, you've got to test your knowledge. The exam's going to test your knowledge, so if you don't test your knowledge in advance, you won't find out if you know what you think you know until you take the exam. And then step 4 is be confident and prepared, because even if you know this material, you need to be confident that you know the material. Check out the full strategy at passfirsttry.com. That's passfirsttry.com. And welcome back to this week's episode of Ask the Instructor. I'm John Chrismo. The show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. And what we're talking about today is building your empire. So we talked about number 1. The number 1 takeaway you should have got from the beginning of the episode is you've got to do whatever it is that you're wanting to do every single day. You're not going to build a real estate empire working on it one day a week. And look, I don't care if you're already working full-time with another job or whatever the case may be, you could still find time every single day. You could find, even if it's only 5 minutes, you really should do more than that, but I would like to see you spend 5 minutes every day as opposed to just spending an hour a week. Now, ultimately, that hour in a week is more time, but 5 minutes a day, and that's going to grow into 10 minutes a day. That's going to grow into 15 minutes. That's going to grow into an hour. That's going to turn into 2 hours. That's going to turn into 8 hours. That's going to turn into 10 hours where you really are fully engrossed in this. And you're going to enjoy it as well because you're in control. The more it is that you get in control of this, and it all starts with number 1, the consistency. Number 2, the priorities. And again, those priorities are determined based on the stage it is that you're in. And number 3, the metrics. What it is that you could measure. That you've got your overall dream. And that's, we imagine this like a little pyramid here. Now, so many people get hung up thinking about the dream. You think about the dream and say, I'm going to get me a Lamborghini. I'm gonna get me a high-rise living somewhere. I'm gonna go get me a beach house. I'm gonna get me this. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna have so much money. I'm not gonna do with all this money. That's the dream, and it's okay to have these dreams. You need to have the dream to make all this stuff worthwhile, but you can't get hung up on the dream. This pyramid here is where you want to focus your attention. So the dream isn't gonna get you there. The dream is what you want, but that's not what you need to think about. Worry about once you've got the money, what type of Lamborghini you want or what type of Ferrari you want. The dream, if you make this dream too real, you're going to get scared off. You're going to say, man, Lamborghini is like $3,000 a month. It's $29.95 a month. Man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford that. Oh, this is just all a waste of time. You get hung up in the dream and not thinking about the goals. You're not going to achieve that dream. Now, a lot of agents will set goals, but if that's all you think about, just, okay, well, my goal is to close one buyer a month. And then a month goes by and they don't close a buyer. What happened? What went wrong? I don't know. I guess I just didn't get it this month. I'll just have to get 2 buyers next month. And then next month goes along. You could even get 1 this month. How are you going to get 2 the next month? Then another month goes by. And you're like, well, I'm just going to get 3 this month. And then I'll have 3 for the quarter and I'll be on track to have my 1 buyer closed a month. And then you couldn't figure out that first month. You couldn't get any of the second month. How are you going to now get 3 in that third month? It could happen, but if you're not making any traction, and this is where you figure out what it is you need to do, these are the targets. The targets are the little mini goals you need to achieve to get the goals, to get the dream. But your most attention needs to be on the targets. If you don't have the most attention on your targets, you're not going to be able to hit the goals. You're not going to get that dream that you've set out to get. So what you need to think about the most is the targets. You need to prioritize the right targets, and it's a learning process. You're going to have some failures. It's inevitable that you're going to have some failures. But use those failures as what they truly are, as lessons, as learning experiences that help you be better prepared to hit the targets and the goals and obtain the dream that you're wanting to achieve. But you've got to have the right priorities, because if you're doing the wrong things, you're not going to get the results it is that you want. You can have all the right ingredients in the kitchen, but if you don't have the right ratios of everything, if you're not using the right amount of flour and the right amount of sugar, and maybe the right amount of salt and all the other stuff that you might use when you're like baking or cooking something, you might have all the right ingredients, but if you're not using the right amount of ingredients, maybe you're like, I want to make a cake here. I've got all the stuff to make a cake. Salt tastes good. Let me just throw a bunch of salt in there, and I'll just sprinkle on some flour, and that'll make a good cake. No, it won't make a good cake. So you got to have the priorities. Yes, all these things are good. All these things taste good. All these things are going to contribute to your business. You want a social presence. But is that the top priority? So you've got to establish these priorities. And until you've got figured out the targets that will help you achieve the goals, that will achieve your dream, you've got to figure out those targets, and then you prioritize what's going to make the biggest moves, what's going to get you the closest to the targets the fastest. And then you need to be consistent about it. You need to do it every single day. You've got to figure out what targets you need to hit, and then make efforts, move uphill towards getting those targets every single day. You do that, and it's not a matter of if. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when you will build your real estate empire. That's the dream. You don't need to think about the dream. You have the dream, that's it. You have it. You don't need to keep thinking about it. You just need to have the dream. That's it. Just have the dream. And then that's what you use to establish the goals, and you use those goals to establish the targets. So the goals are, again, maybe how many buyers you want to work with, how many sellers you want to work with. That's your goals. But then your targets are, how many appointments did you need to go on? How many contracts do you need to write? How many phone calls you need to make? How many emails you need to send? How many people you need to get in front of? That's the targets. Because that's not what you sleep and dream about at night. You're not dreaming about, oh man, my dream is to call 100 people. That's nobody's dream. That's nobody's dream. That's somebody's target. that's going to help them achieve a goal, that's going to help them achieve that greater dream. But again, you've got to put your attention on the right things. You got to prioritize just this of what you're thinking about. Not only what you're doing, but what you're thinking about. You need to be thinking about how can you hit the targets faster? How can you hit the targets quicker? How can you hit that target more? How do you double what it is that you're doing for the targets? And everything else will fall into place. Everything else will fall into place. You increase the amount of calls you make, the emails you send, the appointments that you go on, the contracts that you write. That's going to result in you closing more buyers and sellers, which is going to result, you might even surpass your dream. So it's not about having a dream. It's not about thinking about the dream. You know, your dream board. This is people, they'll spend hours making a dream board. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Well, now how are you going to buy all these things that you got on this dream board? That's a really pretty looking arts and crafts project, but what are you doing? What are your targets that you're trying to hit? It's like, I don't know, but whatever I do, I'm going to get this yacht here. I've got this 200-foot yacht picked out. It's made by this. I could fit my helicopter on it. Okay, really cool. Really cool. That's a cool thing. But now what are you going to do? How? What are even the goals that are going to achieve that dream? That's not a goal, that's a dream. That's why they call it a dream board. You don't need to think about your dreams, you need to have dreams. And then you use those dreams to fuel your goals, which you use to fuel the targets. But prioritize this stuff. Not only prioritize what you think about, but what you do, and be consistent about it. Do it every single day. If you take away anything, it's the consistency. The consistency. Determine what it is that's important based on the stage it is that you're in your career. Maybe you're already got a successful real estate career and you're just looking to grow further. But you're at that point now where you're like, I can't make any more calls. I can't make any more emails. I can't go on any more appointments. How do I grow further? Well, that's where you have to now grow beyond yourself, which is an entirely different shift it is that you need to make. That's an entirely different stage that you're in now. And so now it's about how can you find the right people? That's your target now. Your target now becomes how do you find the right people who are going to be able to hit these sales targets? And now you have leadership targets as opposed to execution targets, as opposed to sales targets. But targets now of replicating yourself through other people. So you got to realize what stage you're in, establish priorities based on that, be consistent about it, do it every single day, and then just keep track of all this here. Keep track of it. Again, this is what you want to think about the least up here, your dream. You really don't even need to think about that at all. Just got to have the dream. You get the dream perfect. You have the dream. You don't need to make another one. You don't need a better dream. You need to get the dream. Get the dream good. Now set your goals and the targets. This is what's going to fluctuate the most because this is especially when you're new. You might not be sure, how many calls, how many emails, how many text messages, how many appointments, how many contracts that really translate to hitting those goals that you set out. But that's where you're going to start to learn. You're going to start to get better. You're going to see that, okay, maybe if I say this instead, that, maybe that'll help getting the contracts quicker where I don't have to do as many appointments because, I'm initiating this topic up front as opposed to, waiting till they bring it up and now it's a bigger issue because we didn't think about it in advance. So look, we can get really in depth on this here, but take away this from today. Figure out what your targets are. Now, again, if you're wanting to get your real estate license, your target's real simple. You go, your goal is to pass the exam, and then now you hit that dream of having the real estate license. Maybe the goal is just having the real estate license. Now your target just is study every single day. You need more info on studying, visit our Pass First Try strategy at passfirsttry.com. We've got great tools in there that'll help you out with that. But that's a simple one. That's an easy one. Because, you just follow these simple steps that we give you, we lay it out, we make it easy. Now, once you've got your real estate license, it can be just as easy, but what's more important now is establishing those priorities. Establishing those priorities, getting those priorities straight of these are the targets you need to hit, and I need to do these activities to hit these targets. Look, that's about all the time we've got for today's show. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for everyone that tuned in to watch this here. Thank you guys so much. If you want to rewatch this episode, just go to tampaschool.com/success. That's tampaschool.com/success. We've got every episode of Ask the Instructor, State of Real Estate in here live. This is definitely one that I think will have a really big impact on your life. This you could apply in real estate or in any business or just in your life in general. I was telling my wife this morning, I was like, it took me 5 years to get you. I'm the king of persistence. It's like, whatever, you weren't chasing after me. I was like, yes, I was. I was persistent. I was consistent. And it made me realize how important that is, how much that could just completely reshape and change and shift everything. And that's something that I implement every single day in everything that I do. So if you take away one thing from today, that's the one thing I think that'll change your life more than anything, is being consistent, persistent, perseverant, whatever you want to call it, but just do it every single day. So all the time we've got for today. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you Friday for State of Real Estate. Hey, so if you're thinking about starting a real estate career, it could feel a little overwhelming sometimes. Look, that's completely understandable. That's why we're here to help. If you haven't already, check out our Success Center, tampaschool.com/success, or if you don't even know where to begin, give us a call. We'd love to help you out. We've got advisors standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way it is that we can. Our phone number is 813-928-0106. Again, that's 813-928-0106. Give us a call. We're the Tampa School of Real Estate.
Do you want a career that allows you to be in control? With a career in real estate, you'll get to call the shots. Whether you're looking at starting part-time or want to become the next top agent, a career in real estate makes it possible. Find out what it takes at tampaschool.com. Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
Are you thinking about a career in real estate? Hey, I'm John Christman with the Tampa School of Real Estate, and we've helped thousands of people just like you obtain their real estate license. If you're thinking about a career in real estate, give us a call. The phone number is 813-928-0106. Our advisors are standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way they can. Hey, if you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching.